I am recording. Say something.
Oh. Hello?
Okay. All right.
Bloopers edit.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Think Ribbon, the podcast where we talk about the things that we think about. I am your host, Kai Morgan, joined once again by the lovely Kaylee. Kaylee.
No one knows my real name, do they?
Yeah,
my real name's Kaylee.
Yep, Kaylee. Don't forget it, or she will find you, and she will kick your door really hard. So,
ask you for food, most likely.
Gonna spit in your mailbox. Wait, do you guys have mailboxes or do that weird door thing?
The post box is where we post, and then we have like that door thing for when the post comes in.
Huh. Okay. Anyway, it's just British world is different. So I've been watching, like, while I work, it keeps getting recommended to me and I can't help but click on them. But there are these TikTok compilations where someone asks like a question and then a bunch of people answer it. And the most interesting ones are, what is a company secret that you can tell because you don't work there anymore? Like, I've learned so much about companies. Like, for example, there's this one guy who talked about, he worked at a company that makes like everything. He's like, I can't tell you their name, but you know who they are. They make just so many different things, but he's like umbrella. And he's like, they made these sponges and they give them out to them to do like market research. So they take them home and they use them and then report back. And he's like, these were the most amazing sponges I ever used. They were like, kind of like those magic erasers, but they didn't run out. They never smelled, like they just were amazing. And he said he used the same one for like 6 months and he couldn't go through the bag. So he ended up giving them away to like friends and family and stuff like that. And he's like, they're the most amazing sponges. And they were never released, purposely never released, because they were too good and people would never buy more. So like, it's stuff like that where it's like, wow, like corporate greed. And they're really, really fascinating videos. Like, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but like I've been learning a lot. And one of the ones that I saw recently, and I wanted to talk to you about it, was, I can't remember what the exact question was, but it was something related to dating, like getting a second date or something like that. And there was not one, not two, but 5 different instances of the exact same scenario. So, and one of them was told from the guy's perspective, which was interesting. But here's the scenario. A girl is approached by a guy in a setting where she's like, no, thank you, like, leave me alone. And the guy just is very respectful and like, okay, sorry to bother you, and walks away. And suddenly he's the most attractive man they've ever like been around. And they're like, no, come back, like in their head, like, come back, I'm sorry. And I find it so interesting because I am absolutely terrified to ever approach anyone for anything, let alone to ask someone out. I mean, the social anxiety, introvert, fear-inducing madness of it all just scares me. And like, I literally don't know how to approach someone at a bar. I've never done that, and I don't know if I ever can, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it just got me thinking, and it's like, what is the normal reaction that guys have when girls turn them down? You know, because that's what I'd just be like, okay, I'm sorry, like, and run away in shame, you know, because it's embarrassing for like, I think everybody involved. But what, from the female perspective, from what you know from you or your friends or whoever, what is the normal reaction that guys have?
I don't think I've had one that hasn't been a bit like sore, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I don't get asked out very often. That's just going to put that out there. I'm not like, you know, this woman just goes around and gets asked out. That's not what I heard, but okay. Kai. No, I mean, I've had the odd, like, on the night out, like, the thing is, it depends what you class is someone asking you out or someone just, like, catcalling you. There's, like, a slight difference.
Someone saying they want to do something with you, and they're serious about it.
I think there's been a couple of times when they've been like, okay, no worries, like, that's fine, it's your decision. But there's been a few times where I've had to word what I've said carefully, because in the past, guys, they want the truth, but they don't want the truth. That's the problem. I find like I've lied and said like, oh, I've met other people, and I haven't. But if I told them, oh, I don't fancy you anymore, do you really want to hear those words come out my mouth?
Yeah,
like
it's blunt, but it's a little too.
Yeah, like if I
painful.
tell you that, then you might become insecure from it. So would you want to run that risk of like making it worse for yourself, or would you rather me just give you a flaky excuse and then move on?
I don't know. I would want to know, like, is it something I did, or is it just like, you know, I know that the whole it's not me, it's you, or no. Other way around.
Yes.
That's mean. I'm awesome, but you suck, so.
Yeah. You don't suck enough.
Well, no, because if someone just said, like, I'm not in love with you anymore, bye, I'd be like, well, can I get a follow-up question? Like. Yeah.
No, I think I've never been in love with someone, so it's never been that serious for me personally. But I haven't really had the best like experience with most. I've always either been catcalled or I have to talk to someone for quite a while until they ask me out. I don't know what that says, but I think I hate catcalling now, personally. Cannot stand it.
Catcalling shouldn't be a thing. Like, it's weird.
It's like, they don't even call it out anymore. They just say it in front of your face. I was out clubbing not long ago. And I walked up the stairs and as like to the toilets, but obviously people are coming down at the same time. As I came down, a guy came up, looked at you and went, oh, fit as fuck, mate, and then carried on walking. And I was like, okay.
Well, I think that's a good interaction. As long as they keep going and they leave you alone, I would take it as a compliment. I'd be like,
I mean, I can only take it as a compliment because I never saw him again.
You're like, I know. Like, you don't have to tell me, duh.
I was looking fire that night, I won't lie. I faked hands and everything, but yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think hate's a strong word. I just don't understand it.
Well, no, like it's not for like different people are okay with different things. It really comes down to the person, and also, you know, if someone's drunk, they're gonna act a little different. Like, I'm a horrible person when I'm drinking, so like, you know.
I mean, I've never gone past a guy and gone, nice cock, and then walks away.
Well, I would not, because that means their cock was out, and.
I mean, you can see a bulge.
Like, sometimes. Oh
hey. That's cute.
Oh.
Oh god, no! I'm really not up my ass about any of this because there's no point in being up your ass because if like there's a small percentage of the population I think that is attracted to cockiness. I can't stand cockiness unless I know you personally. I can't stand cockiness.
Well, okay, I do have a little bit of a feeling about this because I understand what you're saying and I agree, but there's also the other side of that where people are so self-deprecating and the way that society is run now that it's like if you even so much as compliment yourself in the mirror, you're conceited. And I think there's a lot of people with really bad like self-esteem issues, and it's like, why aren't we allowed to say like, you know, I look really good today without being like oh, get over yourself, you know, like.
Well, I don't necessarily mean in person. I mean online when you're in the talking stage.
Oh.
I can't speak for everyone, but I know majority of girls hate the phrase stuff like, oh, I'm gonna get in the shower, and they're like, oh, what, without me?
Oh, well, yeah, that's
stuff like that,
inserting yourself into a situation that
guys still do that kind of thing. That I was talking to a guy on Hinge, and I feel really bad because he's watched one of these podcasts. I feel like he's gonna see it, but like, you know what? Here's the truth. We were speaking for a few days, and he did nothing but talk about how me and him are just gonna meet up. And I don't know what it is. Like, I must just be a minority, but I have to talk to someone for like a fair amount of time before I actually meet someone. Is that normal? Or is that odd? Because I feel like dating apps, they just expect you to just jump on a train or jump on a ferry or whatever and just go and meet someone.
So
but to me, that's terrifying. You're a stranger.
As a bisexual guy who has had to converse with men and women online and dating apps, it is extremely different talking to girls and guys. I have had sex with guys without ever actually saying a word or knowing their name. Like, I got a blowjob in a Best Buy bathroom one time. No words were exchanged. It just happened. And it was like, okay. That does not happen in the straight world, like, at all.
I want to say something controversial, but it's not me saying anything bad about it. Is that kind of the rules of gay, like people being gay? Do things like that happen more because you're a gay guy, or not gay but bisexual?
Well, in that moment, I was a gay guy. So there's a line in Will and Grace that I really liked, which was a gay sitcom in the 90s, where he goes to, one of the gay characters ends up in a place where all these straight guys are like fascinated that he's gay and asking him all these questions. And one of the questions I just love, they're like, so what's it like when there's no one to say no? You know, because like guys are the way that they are. Like, you know, for us, sex is more like a need. It's like hunger or needing to go to the bathroom. It's something
like
that,
a high five.
You know, it's going to happen whether you're there or not. Like, you know, we know how to take care of ourselves and all that stuff. And I know that there's a lot of girls who are the same way, but
yeah, I think generally that's very different to women though.
But that plays more into how women are more like, you know, I need to get to know you and all that stuff because, and I don't blame them, guys will do the same thing. They will use you and disappear. And then you just feel like, oh, it was just a booty call and that was it. And you know, for guys, that doesn't affect us. Although, actually, that's not true. I have had both men and women who use me for sex, and it does leave you feeling kind of ugly afterwards. But generally only if you actually have feelings for them. There's friends with benefits that, you know, we had mutual, like, no feelings, just sex, and it was fine. So I think it really depends on, like, a ton of variables, like what kind of person you are, what kind of person they are, what you're into, like, all that stuff.
I think so. I think I'm a minority, to be honest, because a lot of my friends can go out and do one-night stands and not feel a thing about it, but I generally couldn't. They'd have to be so hot that I would not be able to walk away from them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would have to be one of those moments in my life where I was like, if I don't do this, I'm an idiot. They'd have to be that hot to go home and have sex with a complete stranger who I don't know where they've been. That is my opinion on it personally. I think that is actually different to most people these days, because like you don't get anywhere by just talking now, and that's scary because I want to connect with you on a mental level before anything else, because if we have sex and then we continue dating and I found out that you like I don't know, something that I really, really don't like I know sometimes opposite attract, but like you've already had sex with someone now, and I really respect my body. It's so hard to talk because I know I'm saying, oh yeah, if you have one night stand, you're disrespecting your body. I don't think that either. It's really hard to put into words what I'm saying, but I don't see the point in having sex with some strange guy when I can just do whatever I want to myself.
Yeah. You know, and then there's also
I know where I've been, and it's probably better.
Here's the big difference between like men and women as far as that whole aspect is concerned. Men do not have to worry about getting pregnant, and that is a really, really big one, because like, oh my God, I mean, talk about life changing. I think it's better to accidentally get like HIV than to accidentally get pregnant. Because one of them, you take medication, you deal with it, that's fine. But having a child is like a whole, I mean, you're adding a human life to the world, and whoever, you know, the mother is never going to be the same. And that can go either way. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's the worst thing that can ever happen to someone. Again, that depends on the person and all that. Yeah. And I'm not saying that HIV is a good thing. I'm just saying that if you compare the two, you know.
Of course. HIV was with you for the rest of your life as well, though? Or is that AIDS?
HIV is, but there's medications now that can basically make it so manageable that it's like you don't even have it. I had to really get educated about that because I had a scare one time when I hooked up with a guy, and like literally as I was like, I don't know how much I'm supposed to say on YouTube, but we were in the middle of things. Yeah. And he's like, by the way, I'm undetectable positive. And I was shit-faced drunk at like a really big Hollywood event. Like Ellen DeGeneres was there. It was so fucking embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I felt so bad. I actually tracked him down on Twitter and apologized, and he didn't reply, which I don't blame him. But I literally threw him off of me and got dressed and left, because in that state of being drunk, I was so blunt that I did not care. I was just like, oh god, and I immediately went to go get tested, and then I found out that when you're undetectable, it's extremely, almost impossible to transmit HIV to someone else, which I didn't know.
No, but it's still your choice.
Well, yeah, it's like, I kind of was like, you could have told me that before. And I had just finished making out with his sister on the dance floor. I was a mess that night. Like, the whole fucking, like...
You were just like...
That was the last time I ever got drunk, because, I mean, I lost my phone. Like, it was like, it was the worst. Do you want to hear this story?
Yeah, I've never been that drunk.
Oh my god. So, I had been in LA for a couple months, and I was really struggling for money, and this like lawyer, like he was a big entertainment lawyer, I'm not gonna say his name obviously, but he was like, hey, I'm going to the GLAAD Media Awards, which is Gay Lesbian Alliance something award, I don't know, it was a award celebrating gay stuff in Hollywood, whatever. And I was like, sure. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, yeah, sounds fine. Found out that tickets were like minimum like $1,200, and I didn't know. He took me shopping and bought me all this clothes. I didn't realize he was fucking like rich, so I was just along for the ride. And I was super thin. Yeah, he was trying. I was so oblivious because I was just new to LA and I didn't know how like LA works, which me and Lisa are gonna have a podcast about that, because like LA changes you. But anyway, so I was like super skinny because I was like working out all the time and not eating, and I didn't have any money. So like we get there and I didn't realize it was like a dinner awards show. Like when you see award shows, like the Oscars or the Grammys, sometimes like you don't realize that the audience is not paying attention, because literally while they're doing the awards and presenting, people are just full on having conversations and not listening at all, like celebrities. Like, and I was like, this is rude, but you only hear what the microphone picks up when they film it, so nobody cared. But I'm not joking, 2 tables away from me was Ellen DeGeneres and I think Wanda Sykes and Portia de Rossi, and like there was like celebrities sprinkled here and there. And it was they reformatted the whole building to be like there was no gendered restrooms, so like I would go into the bathroom and there's men and women and transgender, everybody was just having a party. And the sponsor of this event was Cattell One vodka, which I will never drink again. Free pouring, like free drinks for everyone. It was all over the place. And I just one after another, and it hit me like a train. Like I just remember bits and pieces of the night, but like from the guy who brought me's perspective, which I think he wanted me to be his arm candy, I just kept disappearing. And then like I was so fucking drunk that at one point I was going around grabbing everyone's asses, like everyone. I'm talking like walking up to people and being like, ooh, oh, that's a nice one. Oh, and then like literally that blunt. And I was just like, oh my God. And then we were on the dance floor and I was fucking dancing up a storm, which I don't normally do. And I was just grabbing whoever the closest person was and just full on making out with them. Like no question. I don't even, just grabbing someone just like, blah. And
was everyone okay with it?
Nobody stopped me. Nobody said anything. Everyone just watched. And like I one of the girls that I made out with, I ended up like grabbing the guy she was dancing with and ended up making out with him. And it turned out that they were brother and sister. And then he's like, hey, like I have a room in this, like right over there. Do you want to come with me? And that's where that whole incident that I said earlier happened. But like, I woke up the next morning, I had so many business cards in my wallet that I don't remember anyone giving me. It was just like the fucking worst, craziest night like ever. And then like, of course I didn't have my phone. And the lawyer guy who had brought me was like, apparently he said like, I can get you a new phone. You don't want to read what I sent you. And like, it was bad. So after that, literally, that was, I think in 2015, maybe 2016, I have not gotten drunk since then because it's mortifying. And that was like one of the craziest Hollywood nights where I was like, okay, time to reel it back a little bit because that was a little crazy.
Shocked.
What?
I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, that's why I don't get drunk. I'm not a good person. Like, if there was ever any, like, that was before I was ink ribbon or whatever, but like if that happened now, like in Vegas, I was so actually Vegas I got drunk, but I was apparently okay. I think a couple people said that I groped them, but they were like, it's fine. I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't remember. Like,
it's like, I feel like it's not okay, but it's not as bad when it's friends and people you know. I feel like.
Yeah, like if you and I were together and we got drunk, we'd probably be grabbing each other the whole night. Yeah. But we know each other. I'm not like some stranger just grabbing you. Like, I look back and I can't believe I didn't get arrested or in trouble after all of that. Because these were like rich A-list people and nobody stopped me as far as I remember.
You were just a young little chicken running around laying eggs. Just like, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people were entertained just watching me go around do my thing, so nobody stopped me because it was like I was livening up the party. I hope. I don't know. If anyone was there.
Yeah, they probably.
Oh my god, what if there's video of me doing that?
I think it would have surfaced by now.
Well, I'm nobody, so they'd be like, crazy drunk guy, like, runs around. Oh no.
But it wouldn't take long for someone to like be, oh, that's Kai Morgan.
I'm not Googling that. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. I shouldn't even be telling this story, but anyway.
If like Ellen saw you and she will always remember you as the guy who just got really drunk.
No, I was like wanting to like go over and say hi, but literally I felt bad the whole night. She was trying to like just enjoy herself. Everybody kept coming up to her like just nonstop, but she was really nice about it. Like, I know people talk about like how Ellen's mean and all this stuff. From what I saw, I mean, she didn't dismiss one single person. She spent the whole night saying hello and taking pictures with everybody who came up to her table. Even when she was trying to eat, like in mid-bite, people would come up to her. And she'd like, you know, okay, like, let's take a picture.
I don't understand that. Like, you could have like the person that you could have the person that I idolize the most right in front of me, and I would still treat them as a person. I don't understand people who can't do that.
Well, I don't know. I always said that I would never do that, but then when a Power Ranger came into my Starbucks, I fucking lost my shit and totally fanboyed. I mean, I was nice. I wasn't like weird, but like it was just like, oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, it hasn't happened to me yet, so I can't 100% say I wouldn't do it. But I really think that I wouldn't. I feel like I'd be too shy to even go up to them. If I'm honest.
I feel like I'm gonna clickbait title this like the time I got drunk in front of Ellen, like. And then everyone else being technically I'm telling the truth. It's not clickbait.
Yeah, that is like a perfect example of YouTube clickbait. Are you okay?
Oh, sorry. I forgot I'm on camera. I think I need deodorant.
Are you keep that in?
Sure. Check out
oh my god, new video. Smelly Kai edition.
That's a huge thing. My partner's into that. Like your pheromones, like they're animals at the end of the day, and they do work.
But if it gets to like BO, that's when I stop enjoying it. It's got to be like a musk rather than a
Yeah, there's a difference between like, oh God, and like, oh, I'd like to get to know you better.
Yeah. Like, you know, once you've just finished, you know, getting close.
So
and then they smell afterwards, that's fine.
I've heard, I've never actually experienced this, but apparently when you're having sex, it smells great and you're like all in your pheromones. But if you walk into a room where someone else just finished having sex, apparently it smells fucking awful. And I'm so curious to like, if that ever happens where someone just left a room and I'm like, oh.
That's how in your bed with someone and then you walk in the room and smell it afterwards.
I don't think it works if you were involved in any capacity. But I actually did research because I wanted to know like how human pheromones worked and what exactly they were. Like, did you know that the cosmetics industry has been trying to bottle pheromones for like forever, and they just can't because they have a shelf life. They go bad after a while or they dissipate. And So they've tried to replicate it, it just doesn't work. But I found out that there's different types of pheromones that we release. And it's weird because we don't think of each other that way. It's all sort of subconscious animal instinct. Like, you can't just smell someone's like sweat and be like, oh, that's like this type of sweat or that type. But there's like, there's fear, there's like workout sweat, there's like sex sweat. Like we have different types of pheromones that we release depending on what mood we're in. So like if someone's really angry or upset and they get sweaty, it's like a distress pheromone and it's not attractive. Like that's where someone who, even if they are into that, will be like, ooh, like I feel weird, like what's happening?
Angry.
Huh?
So there's like a whole thing of like guys finding girls attractive when they're angry. Stuff like that.
Not me. Anger is not a good thing. Like,
maybe that's just an erotic book fantasy where they're like, are you kind of turned on right now? Yeah, I am.
No, like if a girl was to slap me, I think it's over. Like the sex is not happening now. Go to your room. No. I'm just kidding.
What if they slapped you during sex?
I don't know. I'm kind of more the other way around, but I've never had like dominant sex with a woman because I'm scared to be accused of assault. And also, I don't view women the same way. Like, it's weird. There's like, yeah, being bisexual is really fucking weird.
Well, I'm bi-curious, but I've yet to do anything with a girl other than kiss them and dry hump them. That's as far as
I Diamond something, she'll be very curious.
Yeah.
No, but like it's weird because like with guys I'm a lot more free and open and I know what I want to do, but with women there's a lot more care and consideration taken into it, like how I approach them, how I talk to them, and there's a lot of like communication. But to be completely honest, at this point in my life, I am so scared to be accused of assault or rape or whatever that, you know, I've told you before that I'm like really dominant and all that in the bedroom, but like I don't know if I could do that with a girl because I'd just be terrified the whole time. You know, also I don't want to accidentally kill her.
You do that? I can just imagine. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oops. I'm carried away, love. Sorry. But I don't know. Like, it's just so fascinating.
It is. We need to do that quiz again because it changed, didn't it?
Well, what I'd really love to do for this podcast too is I want to try doing like a radio show format where we have people call in with questions and we just give our opinions or advice. I think that'd be really fun, but I have no idea how to set that up. You're gonna have to talk to Gruff, or you will figure it out, or something where it's like we tell people, okay, on this day from this time to this time we're gonna be live. If we don't get to you, you'll have to wait till next time, and just have people in a queue.
Yeah, well, I said there was one option we could do where we did like a random number generator and pick random people from the server, and then we just do a video call with them, and then the next week we pick other people. Like that could work too. Yeah,
that could work too, especially with the 3. I set up another podcast like visual where it's got 3 windows instead of 2, just in case we ever have a third person.
Corey on here, that'd be really fun. Cioles.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you call him Cioles.
I know what Ciol is. I was like, oh no.
You call him Cioles. There's so many. He doesn't correct anyone. It's
No, and then I found out that so one of the addresses when I shipped out my album was in France, and it had some crazy name on it that I was like, I don't know who this is, and then it turned out to be him, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, just call him Corey. That's what everyone does. I don't know. Bless him. But you're right though.
By the way, I have an album if anyone would like to buy it. It's kaimorgan@bandcamp.com/buy it. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to send me the link. I tried to find the link to buy it and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, you don't have to buy it.
I won't. But I want to.
No.
I want to support the man I love.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Well, anyway.
What are you excited for?
Because I'm moving. I'm going to move into a house, and I'm going to have so much room, and I'm going to have studio space, and I'm going to be able to film so many things.
And a puppy.
Oh my god, I'm going to get a dog and a cat. so excited, and they're gonna be best friends, and I'm gonna raise them.
Yeah.
And I want to get a bubble backpack for the cat, and then a leash for the dog, and I could take them both on walks at the same time.
You can get a little hat helmet and then go on a bike ride with them.
No, you want to know what I want to do? I want to do cosplays for the pets, so I could do little Resident Evil. Like, imagine a little dog dressed up as a Cerberus from Resident Evil. It's so cute. I can't wait.
Little police badge.
Little Leon cat with a zombie dog. Oh my god. I know that they'll wear it for like exactly 1 second before they just rip it off, but I'm gonna try. Yeah. I'm gonna green screen, try to put them into like the game. It's gonna be so much fun.
And if you get them at the same time, they'll have to be friends, which is the way you want to do it.
I'm worried about that because like you have to be careful. I think as long as they know each other when they're young, it's okay. But like if you introduce an adult cat that's already established in the house with like just a random dog, it's not going to go well. Like you see those videos of the dogs that are so scared to even pass by the cat. The cat will just like...
The cat's just like... I love their paws. It's so cute.
No, I have a puppy fever. It's like that thing when people really want a baby and they just they see babies everywhere and they just desperately want. I have that, but for pets. I want a cat and a dog and a bird and a fish and a pig. Like,
it's a whole the Kai Morgan farm.
Well, that's what I grew up with because my mom was a veterinarian assistant, so she would just bring home animals all the time. And like, I'm not joking, we had like 6 cats and 4 dogs and a whole ton of fish and birds. We had a ferret, we had a pig, who was like the best pet ever. My sister currently has sugar gliders, which I didn't even know were legal in Texas, but
hey.
They're like little flying squirrels with big eyes. They're really cute, but they're really like weird, and they smell horrible. Okay. I got to hold them when I visited one time, and like they stink. They're really cute, but they stink.
Oh god. Oh, I love that. That sounds amazing. I want to have a ranch. I just want cows and pigs and sheep.
No, it's funny because as a kid, I was always like, ew, who would want to like live like that? But now, like the older I get, the more I'm just like, I just want to move to the middle of nowhere and have a bunch of animals and be self-sufficient away from like all the fucking chaos of society.
Yeah, sounds nice.
And like furthering that, I think Stardew Valley really triggered me. like all of us are just like, I want to live this life.
God knows it triggered me. Jesus Christ.
Well, there's a guy who actually did. He like packed up everything, quit his corporate job, and bought a farm. And he doesn't really do interviews, so like no one's been able to ask him how it's going. But he literally like bought a broken down farm and planned to like, he bought chickens and started working on it. And that's the last I heard.
It's across the road. They've got chickens, and they wake us up at 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Oh, chickens? Because I thought only roosters.
Roosters, sorry. That's what I meant.
Yeah, no, I want chickens, not roosters, because chickens will just lay eggs and leave you alone.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say something, but it's completely gone out of my head now. Oh my god, it was a good thing to say. Oh my god, that's so annoying.
It happens to me all the time. Like this video if you ever forget what you're talking about in mid-sentence, because that happens to me quite a bit. Like one of the theories I love, someone said that if you walk into a room and you forgot why you went in there, it's because somebody canceled your action, like The Sims. That actually kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's like too accurate. You're just like, oh my god, I'm in a game.
It's like I have to wash my ass first.
No, but it literally happens to me like every day, all the time. I'll go into a room and then I'm like, what was I gonna do?
Oh my god!
What?
My brain just went ding ding ding. I remember what it was. Do you know what hyper-fixation is?
Yes.
Do you have it? Because I do. I really think I do.
Maybe a little bit, but not. I wouldn't say I have it.
Look at the way that I played Stardew Valley, right?
Actually, knowing you, yes, you do have hyperfixation. You get obsessed with one thing for like a month and then you never touch it again.
Yeah, and now look at me with Genshin Impact. and now I'm on God of War.
You guys should hear Diamond when she plays. We always make fun of her because like she gets so fucking angry. Like we'll be on voice chat all doing our own thing and you just hear her just being like, I love this game, like it's so relaxing, and then 5 minutes later she's like, oh you fucking cunt, are you fucking serious? I can't believe it. Just like freaking out. We're like, maybe you should take a break, and she's like, no, I love this game, it's so fun.
I'm a game blamer. I go, oh, this game just didn't do this, I'll be able to do it.
She's probably the only person I've seen scream at Stardew Valley, the most relaxing game ever made.
It's bloody those rare fish, man, when you've got to catch them. Oh my god, I've never known rage like it. I've like, do you know when you're, it's just like really sad, but I'm going to talk about it because I need to get better at my game rage. I get to the point where I'm like, please just let me do it, please. Game of gods, if you let me do this level, please.
Like last time I was on that level was when I was a kid, because like my dexterity just wasn't good enough yet. Now I'm like, it's weird because like I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I'm a lot better of a gamer than when I was a kid. Like I've leveled up, which I don't know if that's something to be that proud of, because like at the end of the day, video games are kind of just a waste of time. But like
to other people,
yeah, to us it's like our therapy and meditation.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo and I am fucking loving it. Oh my god.
Oh, what was that, the free one on PS Plus?
No, the actual game. That was like a whatever.
Oh, Ghost Runner. I think it was Ghost Runner.
Ghostwire Tokyo, which was made by Shinji Mikami Studio.
The new one, the brand new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play that.
I was gonna do a review for Ink Ribbon and just talk about it, but I realized like I'm really biased, because for me it's almost like a meditative, relaxing game with the addition of being able to walk around Tokyo again, and you know how much I loved living there, and like I don't know, it's a really relaxing game, but it's super repetitive and a lot of people aren't into that because it's a collectathon and it's not scary. There's not really, I don't think the story is that interesting. I mean, I kind of want to know what's going on. I'm halfway through it, but at the same time I'm like, I'm just having fun walking around like collecting stuff.
They make these relaxing games where there's not much to do, and they charge like £70. It's like,
who?
No, I'm just saying in general. Is it worth money?
It depends on the person, but for most people, I don't think they would enjoy the game as much as I do. Although Dale's really enjoying it. Like we've been playing together, and he's the only other person I know who's actually like playing it that I can talk to. So like, I gave him like a virtual tour the other day. Like he hopped on PlayStation and like we were screen share. Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
No, it's what PlayStation's calling it actually.
But like I would just show him around, and like, because everything's like fake brand, so I'd be like, oh, this is actually a Starbucks, and this is this, and this is that, and then I'd explain like what you do in these places, and like it's really, really almost therapeutic. And like, not to get too deep into stuff, but I have a lot of like fear of like death and lack of afterlife, but this game handles a lot of that in a really comforting way. Like one of the things you have to collect is spirits, so there's just like people floating around, and you hear what they're thinking, and some of them are like, I can fly, or they're like, where am I, or what's going on, and you have to collect their spirit and then release it into the afterlife. And it's like something very
oh my god,
something about it's very calming.
Have you played Medium yet?
No.
If you love Ghostwire, if you love that, you'll love Medium. Honestly, like the first half of the game.
It's on my list. I just haven't gotten to it.
Push it up.
Push it up, you bum. No, it is actually on my list. It's just like, you know that I'm always working, so I don't really have time to play games. And Ghostwire Tokyo has been one of the only games in the past, I don't know, 10 years that I've been like, oh my god. Well, not 10 years, more like 3 years, that I've been like actually, from the moment it was announced, I was like, I'm excited for this game. I didn't really know anything about it. I just knew it took place in Tokyo and Shinji Mikami Studio made it, and I was like, let's go. And it turned out to be a game almost perfectly made for me. And you want to know what else? You walk around Tokyo, there's no people, but you can find cats, dogs, and raccoons, and you can pet them and you can feed them.
Oh my god.
Like, and they're so cute. Like, you pet the dogs and like they'll they whimper, and they're like, it's almost like you can be like, thank you for petting me, and they're so cute. They're all Shiba Inus.
Oh
And it's funny because the
God.
cats are just like, don't touch me. Like most of them, you can't pet them because they're just like, I don't know you. But like, oh, it's like walking around Tokyo, there's no people, just animals. And then like you can read their thoughts too, because you have like supernatural powers, so you can like read the thoughts. And sometimes it's heartbreaking because like you'll find cats in a park and they're like, oh, the human who normally feeds me hasn't been here, I wonder if they're okay. And like, or they're like just like, oh, I'm cold and I'm scared, and like I'm just like, oh my God, my heart.
Oh, that would hurt my heart. Yeah, I definitely will give that a go, but I might wait till it goes down in price.
For you, knowing you as a gamer, wait until it goes down in price, but I promise you will love it. It's like, it's so good. It's so good.
I've been branching out more now. I'm playing God of War at the moment. I don't know if you would have thought I'd ever play that, but I love it.
Yeah, I played the original, like the original for PS2.
Oh, I haven't got to those yet. Yeah, I've got to the PS5 upgrade ones.
No, I'm trying to be more like, I have a really bad habit, and I know this, it's obvious on my channel, that I focus on older games, and I need to really start playing newer games because I'm getting left behind in the games generations, and I'm like, plus I have a PS5, and I'm not like, this is Ghostwire Tokyo is the first PS5 game I've owned, and I've had it like for, I don't know, a year and a half now. So Genshin Impact was a PS5. No, it's not. It was PS4. No, every other game has been a PS4. I've got PS4 games that were like, you got the PS5 version for free. Technically, Village could be called my first PS5 game, but I have to get the PS4 version because the collector's edition was sold out and blah blah blah. But you know what I mean.
That's true, yeah.
The box says PS5 on it. That's my point.
Oh my God. Do you want to do some podcast questions from the server? Or do we have, how much time do we have?
We have like 20 minutes.
Okay, well, do you want to, I was going to bring up the subject of second chances. So for me, it would be for friendship, because I don't really have, well, I've got a couple of experiences with relationships, but as a whole, what is your opinion on second chances in life with people?
Well, we're about to go really deep. We're going there, but to sum it up, because I don't really want to get too into it. I'm one of those people that believes that you. I have a really fucked up relationship with my family. They've betrayed me in several ways, and when the people who are supposed to take care of you and raise you turn against you, you learn not to really be trusting of people. And because of that, I've become kind of stone-hearted. It's really easy for me to just lose someone in my life and be like, oh well. Like, it hurts in the moment, and I get over it very quickly. And this also goes for friends. I have like a friendship curse. I've like, not to be weird, but I've been scared to actually meet you or Dale in person because I fear that it's going to happen, and I don't know why. Every friend that I've ever made just one day turns like full like Regina George frenemy. Like, they go from being your friend to either completely ghosting you and disappearing off the face of the earth and ignoring you for the rest of forever, or they actively turn against you. One of them turned out he was like trying to hook up with me, but we're both in relationships, and then he started sending me all these weird Snapchat pictures, and I don't know what that was about. But like, for most of them, I never got any closure, and I never understood what happened. And then also, this came up in one of my live streams, but the first girl I ever loved was in high school, goth girl, who you were saying earlier that, like, you know, conversation and all that is really important. And I don't think she was unattractive by any means. You know, like, sometimes she dressed up, and, you know, for a goth girl, she made herself look really pretty. She was a bigger girl, which I didn't care because we got along so well. And then she fucking betrayed me, and my whole life has just been people doing stuff like that to me. And because of that, I don't even have 3 strikes and you're out. Like, I trust you until you do something, and then I don't trust you anymore, and you'll never get my trust back because you hurt me, and that's that.
Is that, like, can there be loopholes in that depending on what the person's done?
So far, no. When I've cut people out of my life, like, you know, there's people who have come like kind of crawling back, and I let them, but it's not the same. Like, I'll never look at them the same. I keep them at a distance. And
what about if they have done something wrong, but they had all the intentions of your like well-being?
No, that's completely fine, and that's never happened. You know, and I have had people do horrible things to me, and all I want is an apology. All I want is for them to acknowledge it, including my own mother. And I have never gotten a sorry or anything, which is all they'd have to say is just, I acknowledge what I did. I am so sorry that I hurt you. I was wrong. I would like to, like, make up for that. Because to me, that's a really strong indicator of maturity and understanding of what you did. And there's people who just either so mean or so prideful or whatever that they just will never admit that they're the one who did something wrong, and they'd rather just disappear. And I'm like, okay. Your mic is muted.
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, it does that sometimes. I don't know why. So I think it might be too far away and it's noise cancelling. I don't know, but I feel like oh my god, it's gone again.
You got my adrenaline going, by the way, like talking about all this. I'm like, sorry. Fight someone.
Oh my god, it is gone again. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
What I was going to say is completely gone.
We can cut this out. Just take a second to update your firmware.
I'm mentally buffering.
I know I just talked a lot about a whole bunch of stuff, so.
It's cause what I do is I listen and I think of something. I go, right, hold on to that thought, and then because I was about to say it, and then you said the mic stopped talking. That you didn't hear me. That like
your little
that thought just went. Yeah. Oh my god.
So you could be like, and how did that make you feel?
No, it's gone. Just bring it back. It's fine. It's completely gone. I might remember it later. It's fine.
Okay, so second chances. That's my view on second chances.
Mine, I feel, is different to yours, only because I feel like, I feel like you have to give someone at least a second chance to know if they're ever going to change, because I do believe that people can change, but you can't say they won't unless you give them a chance. Like, you can't just decide. If that makes sense?
No, I see what you're saying. And okay, there is a loophole, actually. If someone is young or in a situation where I know that they're not seeing the full picture, like, for example, someone making fun of poor people, but they've lived a really privileged life their whole life, and they have no idea what it's like to be poor. They literally don't know what they're talking about when they say things. And I think on some level they genuinely don't understand how horrible the things coming out of the mouth are, you know. Or like kids don't know how the world works. We've all done horrible shit as kids that when you look back as an adult, you're like, ooh, like, yeah, you know. And people do change, they grow, but not always. I've met some old people who are fucking awful human beings.
No, yeah, I do agree that there's some people that you just know are never going to change, but I do believe in second chances to just further proof that, to not like live life being like, what if? I've just remembered what I was going to say. It's better to get an apology for them saying they're sorry they hurt you, rather than no apology at all, because I do think, even though you can have like differing opinions on things, as long as you still apologize for hurting someone's emotions, that still counts to me as an apology. Whether it still means that you mean it, it just means that you're not sorry for what you said, which is fine, because if you believe in something, you should stand by what you said. It doesn't mean that someone else is going to like it.
Yeah, and I have that exact instance with a ex-friend who actually did like come back in my life, but again, it's not the same and it's weird now. But basically, he has very asinine political views, and he views the world as from just a money-making standpoint, and has absolutely no empathy for anyone or anything, and actually made fun of me for getting COVID. And that was like the last straw where I was like, okay, you know, plus my dad almost died of COVID, and like, that was where I was like, you know what? And I fucking went off on him. Like, I'm a calm person. I was in the middle of the street screaming into my cell phone. Like, and that was one of the only times that I was the one that said, I don't want you in my life anymore. Like, don't fucking talk to me anymore. Like,
yeah,
and it took about a year and a half. And then he like reached out to me, and he didn't apologize. He just kind of pretended like we just talked yesterday. And I was like,
I hate that.
I let it go because we tend to have good conversations, but like it fizzled out real quick, and we haven't talked in a couple months. But like, it's just like, why do you have to be like that?
I don't can make fun of someone for having COVID. Like, I genuinely don't understand the concept.
Yeah. He was like, oh, it's like nothing. It's like a little cold. You're going to be fine. Like, the media is lying to you, like all that stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I don't need to deal with this right now. Yeah, I don't even think about it.
No, fair enough. Sorry, I'm getting you all riled up.
Well, no, and then like I have another friend that was really close to me, and we were really like cool with each other. And then his like feminazi girlfriend just one day, I don't know if this is true. This is what I think happened. His girlfriend just said, you're not allowed to talk to him anymore. And he fucking ghosted me. And I was just like, okay, hope you don't get her pregnant because your life's going to be ruined.
That's a whole nother topic of discussion, is what your partner should allow and shouldn't allow you to do.
Well, like going more towards second chances, like I strongly believe that if you're not happy, you need to change it. I don't care if it's your family, your friends, your spouse. Like, if you're not having a good time and enjoying your life, don't. Because I was in an 8-year relationship that should have been at the most a 2-year relationship, and I wasted so much time because no one wants to be the one to break up with someone or like face that reality or deal with it. And like, I mean, by the end of the relationship, we were literally like sleeping with other people and pretending like we both didn't know, and like it was bad, and it was really super toxic towards the end.
Yeah.
And looking back, I wish we had just ended it when it needed to be ended, and I would have been so much happier and saved so much time and money and grief. So, it's really hard, and no one wants to deal with that. But if you're not happy, leave. And that's very true for family. I know that we're very different in that regard because you're actually close to your family. And that's one thing I've learned is people genuinely cannot fathom what it's like to not get along with your family. But if you have that problem where you love your parents and you had a good upbringing, congratulations. And I don't mean that sarcastically. Like, you're very, very fortunate, because a lot of people don't share that.
Well, I don't, other than my family, like my cousins, I don't really know of a family that's like mine. It's really rare now to have, well, not saying that my family, like my parents are how they are because they've got their own issues, but like genuinely as a family, we're very close.
Yeah. And it's specifically how they are towards you, because like, if like, marital problems happen and like other stuff happens, but as long as they're respectful towards you, don't worry about their stuff. That's their issues. You can be there to give advice or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's their life. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
But, growing up, all I dreamed about was leaving home, because it was just constant, like, fucking, abuse, basically. Like, looking back now, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I don't know,
I haven't had the best. Well, I've had a great upbringing, but I've had a lot of stuff to deal with that I shouldn't have to deal with, that I won't go into, just because I feel like it's not the right place to say, because I'm close with my family. It feels disrespectful to talk about that, whereas where you're not, you're like kind of don't really care, that you're happy to explain stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But I've definitely had some stuff that I shouldn't have had to have dealt with, shouldn't have had to do. Like,
yeah,
I think there are some things that I wish I would change, but other than that, my family is my best friends. If that makes sense.
No, yeah. And like another thing too is, families aren't going to be perfect all the time. You're going to have ups and downs. It's just like friends and siblings and, relationships. Sometimes things get not so fun, and that's just part of it. Like, I'm sure you and I one day are gonna have a fight and we're not gonna talk to each other for like a week, and then one of us will be like, I'm sorry, and then
the thing is, the difference between being upset at someone for something that you should be upset at, and they're upset at, sorry, and then there's things where I'm upset at things that I shouldn't be upset at because I have things wrong with me. like I didn't realize that I had this issue. I have insecurities in my friendships groups because I'm so used to making friends, then finding other friends, and then forgetting about me, that as soon as my group of friends start inviting other people into it, my immediate reaction is to be like, what you doing? Don't destroy this, my little bubble I'm in. And I almost like act out, but I've only just like realized it recently. And I don't, it sounds really stupid because
no, it's actually completely normal to have that reaction. That's why cliques are so like you're not one of us, like you can't sit with us, like that's totally a thing, because it's like, these are my people, like stay away. I think you kind of end up creating, like, you have two families, like you have the family you're born into, and then you have your family that you've chosen, like your friend group that, in my opinion, is like your real family.
Yeah.
And it's completely normal to feel that way. However, what's really important, and I'm proud of you for, is that you recognized it and you're dealing with it, because a lot of people don't get that far and they just turn into assholes. And then they're like, then they lose their friends because no one wants to be around them, but they don't understand what they did. So like, it's really, really important to like keep an eye on how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. Like, people who just get angry and smash their keyboard, it's like, relax, take a breath, and ask yourself, like, okay, is this worth, do I need to calm down a little bit, maybe step away from this situation or whatever. I'm really like in tune with my emotions because I used to be that way. Like, yeah.
I have I'm not bipolar, but I feel like I could be sometimes, like, the expression feeling high and feeling low kind of thing. So I know it's not technically correct, but when I'm low, I'm so low. Like, I feel like everything's pointless. There's no value in anything that I do, and I might as well just sit here and do nothing. And then when I'm happy, it's like I'm high in adrenaline. And when I'm sad, honestly, I feel like I have really strong emotions. So whenever I'm feeling something, I always go to my mum and say, is this normal? That's what I've always done, and I still do it now.
I wouldn't say bipolar, although I think there's now like levels to it, but who knows? We're all mentally ill on some level.
The thing is, though, there's got to be a line where you diagnose yourself with something, because I keep seeing things that I'm like, oh, I have a bit of that, but I don't diagnose myself.
No, and you shouldn't.
Like, if I was curious, I'd go to a doctor and say, look, do I have this, do I have that? But I'm okay with what I do and how I feel, as long as I don't hurt other people because of it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, or it's not severely hindering your work or personal life, it's not something to be too concerned about, But I don't know, everyone's different and they all have their own thing. I think it's really important to find what works for you with dealing with it. That's why I've got my gummies and I do exercise, or I know when it's time to take a break. Like, I'll literally like go check the mail or take out the trash or just go for a walk around the block when I'm like too stressed out.
See, I to be stressed out about, and yet I still feel that way.
Yeah, that's conventional society. Just going on Twitter will throw you into a horrible day sometimes.
I don't know. I always feel like I'm going through something when I'm not. That's what my brain does. It kind of, I'm gonna put, like, not moving forward in my life is me going through something, but I'm not doing anything to further my life. Like, I'm not going to the gym, not going to the driving lessons, and I don't know why. Every Monday I say, right, I'm starting this week off, I'm going to the gym, and I find some excuse not to go, and then for the rest of the week I don't go. And that's what I did this week.
No, I was actually, I'd love to do a another podcast because it's a lot to get into, but you had said something in a previous one that has stuck with me, and I've thought about it a lot, where I was talking about like how I like, you know, just do like a quick exercise. It's really easy and whatever, and, you know, or eat healthy. And you were saying, I think you said something like there's a lot of people who, you know, can't see that light at the end of the tunnel or whatever, and they can't get to that place where they can just do it. And I really want to like get into that and unpack it, but that's too much for the next like 5 minutes. So
questions to finish the podcast.
I actually don't know if we have time. We're at an hour right now.
Oh, okay. But don't forget, we'll cut out.
Yeah, we have to cut out like, what was I talking about again?
I don't know what it is. I have this. My mum has it too, but she says it's menopause, and I God hope it's not menopause for me. I'm only 23.
I mean, that's why it happens to me. So menopause. Yeah, in case you guys ever wonder, like when there's like things cut out of this podcast, it's never anything like juicy. It's just like dead air. Where we're like,
It's never Kai either. It's always me because I'm not used to this.
It's been me a couple times. Where
I don't know.
I have to tell you the hot gossip. No, I'm just kidding. Here's what I can't say on YouTube.
We have a little gossip share, don't we, before our podcast now, and it's good. It brings the flow in. It's nice. So, who's been in your life recently?
All right. Well, I think we got into like a lot of stuff today. I think this is a good place to end it. It's gonna be a little shorter, but I feel like we really bared our souls in this. And got deeper than we've ever gotten before. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, what else can we do? It's what it's for, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm scared. Like, I was talking to Lopez on the phone, and we got into it, and he's like, you need to talk about like more controversial stuff and get more into it. And I'm like, but people on the internet are mean. Like, they're gonna leave angry comments, and you can't please everyone. Someone's gonna get angry about something if I say anything. I mean, sure, there's people gonna get mad about something I said today.
But so far, the comment section's been lovely. I
actually have not read the comments on any podcast because I have so much anxiety about it. Like,
well, I'm telling you now, you could read all of them and they're all amazing.
Okay.
If you want some feedback. There's not one that is... One of them even said you should do it live. So, or on Twitch or something like that. So,
I think we could do that. That would kind of be a fun one, like live chat while we're potting, as your mom says.
Hey kids, are you still podding?
Her mom actually said that, so now it's like an inside joke. We're like, hey, are we gonna pod today?
See, I love that. I love bringing my family into this. It's so fun. Like me and Dale still have a joke about hemorrhoids. I've told you about it before. When I was on the headset.
Yeah.
On headset with Dale, my mum came in and she didn't realise I was talking to someone. So she goes, "Oh, you could have said something. I could have been talking about my hemorrhoids." And Dale went, "Diamond, you have hemorrhoids?" And I was like, No, I don't. And in his Christmas card that he sent me, he said, because I put in my card to him, "I bet you're wondering about how the hemorrhoids are." He put, "I don't know why you're telling me about your hemorrhoids." It's a card back to me.
I do remember that. He told me about that. Oh, you crazy kids.
Yeah. And the best one was, I told her that Dale was half Indian, and my mum went, "Oh, which half is he, Dale?"
Oh, God.
Which half is he? Hey.
We need to get Dale on here. When we talk about British versus like American stuff, we need to have Dale on here.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's gonna be brilliant. I can't wait for that. We just have to make him do it.
Well, our one of our episodes is airing as we're recording this, so
yeah, I'll go watch that.
Yeah. And also, it's April Fool's Day today as we're recording this, so I put out a video that I had to like tell people it's a real video, click on it, because on Twitter everyone's like, "I'm not clicking that link, nice try." And I'm like,
oh my God,
it's real. I worked on it. Cool. Anyway.
Oh, bless you.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you guys so much, everyone who comments and tunes in and everything. We really, really appreciate it. We are kind of figuring out this podcast as we go. But I think it's going well, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I think it's safe to say Diamond is too.
Oh yeah, of course.
But if you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the... Where's a good place to leave questions if they want to?
There's a section in the server called podcast questions where you can put them in there. You can leave them in the comments, and if I catch them early, we can like screenshot them, stuff like that. Or Twitter, I suppose. At you on Twitter, it's probably a good idea.
Cool. Yes, all of those are perfect ways to send in questions. And I'm managing so much. Diamond and Jazz and everyone's really helping me, so I really appreciate them doing that because it's a lot to keep track of. And yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Sneaker Ribbon podcast, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
See you later.